From unsettling, strange creature encounters in the woods to heart-stopping Bigfoot sightings and even footage of a creepy intruder living in your house, if you're intrigued by the world of the unexplained, you're in for an extraordinary adventure as we explore each mysterious capture. You may have come across many Bigfoot sightings captured on camera, but have you ever seen a Bigfoot captured by people and kept in a cage? A spooky video has surfaced on Reddit, showing a cage placed in the middle of a forest with a massive creature inside it. Inside the cage, there are cameras that provide a clear view of this legendary creature's imposing presence. It emits a rather terrifying growl and is covered in a thick coat of fur. In addition to the creature, you can also see other people around the cage, recording this Bigfoot-like figure. The Bigfoot in the video appears to be very aggressive and clearly doesn't like being inside the cage. It's desperately trying to break free, and its immense power is causing the entire cage to shake. If this video is indeed genuine, it raises the possibility that we might see these mighty creatures in our zoos in the years to come. A man had a strange problem in his apartment. His food kept disappearing, and he suspected his girlfriend, but she denied it.
So I kept on finding food missing in my apartment that I knew I wasn't eating. I confronted my girlfriend who lives with me about it, and she claimed she wasn't eating it. So I decided I'm going to set up a video camera and I'm going to catch her. This is what I found.
To catch her in the act, the man set up a security camera. What he discovered was truly terrifying. He placed the camera in his kitchen and went to sleep. After about 2 hours, there was some movement above the doorway, and then a person came out of it. This person stepped onto a table, and it turned out to be a messy-looking girl who seemed like she might be homeless. The girl acted like she owned the place, confidently opening the fridge and moving around as if it were her home. It appeared that she had been doing this for a while. After snacking from the fridge, the girl casually sat on the sofa and watched TV. Then, she went back to the fridge, but heard the homeowner approaching, so she hid behind the sofa. When the homeowner came in for a drink of water and left again, she emerged, had more food, and then disappeared back to where she came from. The man woke up and went about his daily routine, completely unaware of this creepy encounter. After watching the video and seeing how comfortable the lady was, it made the homeowner wonder if she had been living with them unnoticed for a long time. A video was posted on TikTok by a user named The Weird Shelf. In the video, a man is seen with his dog, and both of them notice something in the distance. They spot a creature moving around in the bushes up ahead. The dog, all excited, takes off after it. The man tries to stop the dog, but it's too eager and fast. As the dog barks and chases the strange creature, it starts to move back into the forest. When we zoom in closely, we can see that this creature looks like a mix of an ape and a human, and it has a thick black coat of fur. It's also quite large compared to the surrounding bushes, and stands upright. What do you think this creature could have been? Hikers often have encounters with strange creatures, and one such unsettling experience was recorded by an unfortunate hiker. In the video, we can see the hiker, who seems anxious and scared, moving the camera hastily. As he continues, he hears the sound of a nearby tree shaking. He quickly turns the camera towards the source and witnesses the tree violently trembling. Upon zooming in, he spots an incredibly odd and huge humanoid creature, causing the commotion. This sight terrifies the hiker. As he records this horrifying being, it becomes aware of his presence and starts making frightening grunting and growling sounds. Hearing these unsettling noises, the hiker runs for his life, and the video ends. When we get a closer look at this creature, we can see that it's quite massive and covered in thick fur. Its face looks quite strange and is unlike any known animal. Could it be an ape or a massive gorilla? Or perhaps something even more ominous, like a Bigfoot? This next video comes from a Russian road camera and captures a truly unusual phenomenon. In the video, we can see a view of a remote road. After a few seconds, a light orb begins to form in front of us in the woods. At first, this orb is relatively dim, but then it suddenly becomes brilliantly bright. Afterward, the orb starts to move. It glides and passes right beside the camera, eventually moving out of the frame. This occurrence is quite strange because the light was simply a radiant orb. There were no discernible outlines of its source or the object emitting it. It was just pure, unexplained light. If you have any ideas or explanations for the strange orb, please share them in the comments below for others to see. Just like humans, some people believe that ghosts might have children, and they too might want to play just like we do. This video captures something that seems like that. In the video, we can see a tricycle moving all by itself. Its pedals are moving as if someone is riding it even though there's no one there. It goes on for a while and then tips over. Some people who've seen this video suggest that maybe the floor slope is causing the tricycle to move, or it could be the wind. These explanations could make sense, but the owner of the place confirmed that the floor was perfectly level. Also, if it were the wind, why would it only affect the tricycle? This video is quite puzzling because there's a mystery surrounding why the tricycle is behaving this way. This video was filmed by a fisherman while he was boating on a Canadian lake. While he was cruising along, he noticed a figure passing at the edge of the forest in the distance. Even though the distance was considerable, we can see that the creature appears to resemble Bigfoot. It's also possible that it could have been a very large ape or gorilla because they too have fur and a similar shape to this creature. However, its enormous size suggested that it was the mighty Bigfoot. If you compare its size to the trees in the background, it looks like this Bigfoot-like creature could be between 10 and 12 feet tall. Thankfully, it didn't appear to be able to swim. Otherwise, it might have swum towards the boat and caused a very tense situation. A man claimed to have recorded footage of the Rake near his house. The video begins with a cameraman pointing his camera at some bushes at nighttime. It seems like he saw something and is using a flashlight to get a better look. While investigating the bushes, he spots something in the distance, but can't quite make out if it's an animal or something else. However, as he continues to observe, it becomes clear to him, and he starts shouting at it. The man then approaches to get a closer look and discovers a strange creature lurking there. It was a truly terrifying sight for both the viewers and the cameraman, prompting him to run away. The man claimed it was a rake, which is typically described as a tall, hairless, pale humanoid creature. What do you think it could have been? This video captures a real ghost sighting on camera. The video shows the inside of a home, and we see a lady casually walking down the stairs. After she goes downstairs, something strange and quite frightening occurs. We witness a transparent, childlike figure emerging from a doorway. This ghostly figure appears entirely smoky as it comes out of the room for a moment, and then returns inside. As it goes back in, the chair in the room moves on its own. The owner of the house mentioned that this is a regular occurrence in their home, and they have made peace with the ghost coexisting with them. These homeowners certainly show a lot of courage. When we hear about ghosts and jinns, we often think of scary and terrifying beings. But have you ever seen the good and helpful side of them? This video comes from India and shows a street view. In the footage, we can see a man followed by another man who appears to be trying to rob him. As they move forward, the follower suddenly attacks the first man and starts searching him while he's on the ground. Then, something astonishing happens. A figure emerges from within the person being robbed. This figure begins to defend the victim and fights against the robber. At first, the robber tries to resist, but this jinn-like creature is strong and overpowers him. Eventually, the robber gives up and leaves, and the jinn goes back into the victim's body. Seeing this encounter makes me wonder if all jinns were like that, our lives might have been much easier. This video was shared by a parent who captioned it as being deceived by a child ghost. In the video, we can hear a girl crying, and then we see a transparent childlike ghost passing in front of the camera. Upon seeing this, the father believed it was his daughter and rushed to console her. However, as the father was going towards the spirit, thinking it was his daughter, his wife called out to him and asked where he was going because their daughter was with her. The father then went to his wife and asked her about their daughter's whereabouts, and she told him that their daughter was sleeping. This is quite eerie, as it seems that the ghost child initially tricked the father by imitating his daughter's cry, and then assumed her form to lure him away. It's unsettling to think about what might have happened if the wife hadn't intervened, and the father had continued chasing after the ghost. This video was recorded by a hiker exploring the Australian Tarkine forest, and they claim to have captured a sighting of the legendary Bigfoot. In the footage, we get a view of the forest, which initially appears to be empty. As the hiker moves the camera around to capture the surroundings, something truly terrifying happens. A massive dark figure emerges from behind the trees. This creature is enormous and walks in a manner similar to humans. It has long arms, and judging from its first step, it also has long legs. This creature seems to be in a hurry and quickly disappears back into the woods. Encounters like this are spine-chilling because these creatures are believed to be incredibly fast, and the hiker was alone in the forest. If this creature had decided to chase the hiker, it's unlikely anyone would have been there to save him. This video comes from Brazil, showing a security camera view of a staircase. In the footage, we can see a woman descending the stairs, but there's something unusual happening at the other end. A dark and shadowy figure appears in front of her, and understandably, the woman decides to do what any sensible person would. She starts running. This dark, smoky figure is enormous, almost like it's engulfing the entire staircase with its eerie presence. As the woman runs, we can see that this figure seems to float above the stairs and pursues her with lightning-fast speed. Encountering something like this and being chased by it must have been a truly terrifying experience. We can only hope that the woman was okay after this encounter. This video was posted on Facebook by a mom who wanted to show off her baby's cute new hat. The post received lots of comments, but not just about the baby's hat. In the video, it can be seen that the mother is recording her baby's new flashy hat, and suddenly, in the background in the doorway, someone or something passes by very quickly. At that moment, the mom didn't notice it. The figure was really strange, as it appeared to be a child demon because of its height, and it was completely black, with no light reflecting off its body. One can only imagine the shock and surprise the mom must have felt when she eventually realized that an unexpected guest had appeared in their home. Watching expert predators hunt is truly fascinating, and thanks to Mark Smith photography, we get to witness these experts in action. In the video, an eagle focuses its attention on a potential prey. The eagle then initiates a nose attack dive, swooping down. As it descends, we see that there are foxes on the ground, and it appears they've already hunted something and are in the process of eating it. The eagle dives with remarkable precision and attempts to snatch the prey from the fox's mouth. With the sheer force of the eagle's flight, the fox is flipped and drops to the ground. However, despite this almost perfect hunting maneuver, our eagle was unsuccessful in securing the prey. Props to the fox for holding on to its meal, even when the eagle sent her flying. This video hails from Italy and captures a peculiar figure on camera. The video begins with a camera recording a rural area. The person behind the camera points toward a figure in the video, following it with their finger. The video quality isn't great. It's somewhat grainy and in shades of gray, but we can still make out the figure. This figure appears dark and unusual. Its shape resembles that of a human, although it's not entirely clear. What surprises everyone is that the figure moves toward a wall, and to everyone's amazement, passes directly through it. Some viewers might argue that the figure could be a skinny person, dressed in black, but the fact that it passes through the wall adds an element of strangeness and unease to the entire video. Dogs are known for sensing things that the human mind may not comprehend or see with our eyes. This video is captured by a home security camera, and in it we see a vigilant dog standing on the balcony, gazing suspiciously out into the yard. After a while, the dog starts barking, clearly spooked by something. Suddenly, a strange set of disembodied legs swiftly runs across the background. Witnessing this, the dog seems surprised and scared by the sight and decides to go back inside. Upon closer inspection, the shadowy figure of the legs appears to be small and moves quite swiftly. It also seems to leave a dark, smoky trail behind as it moves. This video is from Nepal and shows a very unusual creature grabbing onto a goat. In the video, we can see the goat owners holding sticks and appearing to be searching for something or someone. The goats seem distressed and frightened, trying to escape from some unseen threat. Then, we witness the source of the goat's terror, a strange creature latched onto the goat's downside. At first glance, it may resemble a chimpanzee, perhaps seeking milk. But upon closer examination of its face, it becomes clear that it doesn't resemble a chimpanzee from any angle. Identifying what this strange creature might be is a challenge. Its intentions toward the goats are uncertain and remain a mystery. This strange and unsettling video was shared by a TikTok user who claimed to have captured a witch in their village. In the video, there is a peculiar humanoid figure perched on top of a house. This creature appears to be thin and is without any fur or clothing. As the local residents gather around, this eerie being seems to focus its gaze on them. You can observe an unsettling, otherworldly look in its eyes as it stares blankly at the camera. This creature also appears to be quite large and is hunched over on the roof, while there's a possibility that it could be a person who is intoxicated and suffering from addiction. Hospitals are places meant for our well-being, but occasionally they become the backdrop for eerie and inexplicable encounters. This video depicts one such instance. In the video, a patient is peacefully sleeping in his bed. Suddenly, something unusual happens. He awakens in a state of panic. The man flips around, struggling as if someone or something is on top of him, pressing him down into the bed. He fights for his life and manages to barely free himself from this ghostly presence. Following the encounter, a nurse enters the room, surprised by the patient's sudden distress. There could be several possible explanations for this incident, ranging from a medical episode like epilepsy to a ghostly encounter. Regardless of the cause, it's undoubtedly an unsettling sight to witness. This video was posted by an individual on Facebook who claimed that his friend filmed two creatures resembling Bigfoots in Yellowstone. The video depicts a vast field, and in the distance, there are two black figures in motion. These figures appear to be similar to apes or gorillas crossing the field. However, even from this long distance, their gait and posture appear human-like, and they have substantial sizes. While gorillas can also grow to large sizes, they don't typically reach the same height as these creatures. Additionally, these two beings' full bodies seem to be covered in thick black fur. The identity of these creatures remains uncertain, and whether they are truly Bigfoots or another type of wildlife is a subject of debate. Encountering something unexplained is frightening in itself, but being stalked by an inexplicable entity takes fear to a whole new level. This video was captured by a trail camera, and initially, it appears to show a swamp scene, with a deer passing in front of the camera. Nothing unusual, right? However, if you zoom in on the top right corner of the video, you'll notice something lurking behind the trees. As the deer moves past, this mysterious figure also shifts from its hiding spot. It seems like this stalking creature may have been lying in wait for the deer, or was attempting to be stealthy in its pursuit. From the video, the creature appears quite large in size and has a robust body frame. To some, it might resemble a Bigfoot, lurking and possibly hunting for its next meal. Security cameras are typically installed in homes to provide a sense of security and safety, reassuring us that we are protected. However, there are times when these cameras capture something that makes us feel quite the opposite, unsettled and unsafe. This picture was shared on Reddit's Creepy Captures subreddit by a user who recounted a strange incident. The user explained that it was midnight when their door security alarm went off. Naturally, they went to check who might be at the door, but to their surprise, there was no one there. Intrigued and concerned, they decided to review the camera footage, and that's when they came across this eerie figure. The figure in the image looks as though it's right out of a horror movie. It has a Slenderman-like face and an overall creepy appearance. Moreover, it seems to be holding something in its hand, adding to the mystery and unease surrounding it. Whatever this bizarre creature may be, one can only hope it never pays them a visit in person. This video isn't necessarily scary, but it does capture a rather unusual and puzzling encounter. In the video, a driver is recording a child who is running toward their car. What makes this situation peculiar is the child's running style and the way their head is tilted to the side. As the child approaches the car, the person inside asks if they are okay and inquires about the whereabouts of their mother.
Bro, what in the ever-loving shit am I looking at right now? Dude, this kid's coming up on me. Like, hey buddy, are you okay? You can't be out here. Where's your mommy? Hey buddy.
However, the child doesn't respond and simply gazes at the trees on the side of the road. The aspect that raises concerns is the absence of the child's parents. Leaving a child alone in the middle of the road like this is certainly not safe or responsible parenting. One can only hope that the child safely made their way back home, and it would be wise for the driver to report the situation to the relevant authorities to ensure the child's well-being. Driving on a deserted road can indeed be a creepy and eerie experience, and encountering something like a werewolf would be the stuff of nightmares for any driver. In this particular case, the driver was cruising along a quiet road when they suddenly slammed on their brakes after spotting something highly unusual at the roadside. This creature doesn't resemble any familiar species. While some might argue that it has a wolf-like appearance, a closer look reveals some very peculiar traits. Unlike regular wolves, this creature appears to be strolling about on its hind legs, which is quite unusual. Additionally, Its arms seem skeletal and lacking flesh. Its ears might resemble those of a dog, but the combination of its arm structure and the way it walks on its hind legs gives it an eerie, almost monstrous quality. The big question here is, what could this creature possibly be? A man was peacefully sleeping when suddenly his ducks outside started making a ruckus as if they were under attack by some predator. In a hurry, he rushed outside with his camera, hoping to capture whatever was disturbing them. As he pointed his camera towards their shelter, everything seemed normal at first. However, if we rewind the video and slow it down, we can spot an eerie sight. A pair of eerie, lifeless glowing eyes lurking near the duck's house. These mysterious eyes quickly darted out of view when the camera turned their way. In the moment, the man recording the video didn't notice the unsettling eyes, but when he later reviewed the footage, he was shocked by what he saw. Now, he's much more likely to believe his ducks when they start making a commotion again. In a video captured by a hiker during a trip through the Canadian forest, something initially appeared to be a lurking bear among the trees. However, as the hiker zoomed in for a closer look, it became clear that this was no bear. Strangely, this creature seemed to recognize the hiker, despite the hiker's attempts to remain hidden in some bushes. For some time, this mysterious creature simply stared blankly at the hiker, almost as if it was studying him. Eventually, it retreated back into the depths of the forest. What makes this encounter especially eerie is the uncertainty of its intentions. Right from the beginning, this creature appeared massive, even though we never got a full view of its body. It was covered in thick orange-brown fur and bore a striking resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot. Ghosts might not be aware of our modern security cameras and surveillance technology, often choosing to reveal themselves when they believe no one is watching. A peculiar encounter occurred in the kitchen of a restaurant after it had closed for the night. In this eerie incident, a trolley began to move on its own, sliding a short distance before items resting on it tumbled to the ground. It was a closed environment with no one present, eliminating the possibility of a breeze or wind causing the movement. While some might argue that the floor had a slight slope, causing the trolley's movement, it raises a curious question. Why were the other two trolleys nearby not affected in the same way? This inexplicable sight left those who witnessed it feeling both unsettled and bewildered. One can only imagine the unease restaurant workers might feel. This intriguing video originates from a trail camera placed within an Australian ironwood forest. Its primary purpose was to monitor the local fox population, but it ended up capturing something truly captivating. As the video begins, we're presented with a nighttime view of the forest. Suddenly, the sound of branches crunching under pressure becomes evident, indicating the presence of something moving. Then, a dark figure emerges, strolling through the woods. This figure stands impressively tall and massive, easily measuring around 8 to 9 feet in height. Its appearance is somewhat humanoid, marked by a hunched back and long, slender arms. The mystery of this creature's identity has sparked debates among viewers. Some speculate it could be the Australian version of Bigfoot, while others propose that it might be a chimpanzee or even a gorilla. What do you think this colossal being could be? Considering that we've only explored 5% of the ocean, it's intriguing to ponder what incredible and massive creatures might inhabit the remaining 95%. This video offers a glimpse of the ocean, and we can spot a large, enigmatic creature on the water surface. Right from the beginning, this creature appears remarkably large and possesses an unusual half-body that doesn't resemble any aquatic creature we're familiar with. As it swims further away, its enormous body displaces a significant amount of water, emphasizing its immense size. Additionally, in the video, we can see other fishermen working in the distance. It's quite unnerving to imagine them laboring in the vicinity of this mysterious river monster. This video was captured by a trail camera, intended to monitor animal activity, but ended up recording something quite disturbing. In the video, we observe a well-worn trail running through the forest, suggesting frequent human use. It's nighttime, and a man enters the frame seemingly unfazed by the potential risks of walking along such a forest path after dark. The man casually progresses down the trail, but after taking a few steps, something startles him. A dark figure attacks him, gripping his leg and attempting to drag him away. The man resists, regains his composure, and flees. Interestingly, the figure that attacked him doesn't appear to be human, but rather a transparent, dark, ghost-like entity. After the attack, this ghostly figure vanishes into thin air. The question arises, was this a genuine encounter with a ghostly entity? Or could there be another explanation for this eerie incident? As a solo hiker, the last thing you want is an unknown creature stalking you from the depths of the woods. Unfortunately, that's precisely what happened to this hiker. In the video, we can see that the hiker is recording his surroundings in a forest, and it appears he's deep within its heart. While recording, he spots something incredibly creepy. A dark figure peering out from behind a tree, staring directly at him. Witnessing this, the hiker becomes increasingly scared and anxious, and you can hear his heavy breathing. He can hardly believe his eyes that there's a creature peeking at him. At first, he considers the possibility that his mind might be playing tricks on him. But as he approaches the figure, it moves and swiftly disappears behind the tree. When the hiker sees the figure move, he bolts for his life. Undoubtedly, this was a genuinely terrifying sighting, and if I were the hiker, I would have hightailed it out of there at the very first glimpse of this Bigfoot-like creature. This video was recorded from a harvester, and the uploader claims to have clear evidence of a Bigfoot sighting. The video is slowed down, and it shows a view of a field at the edge of a forest. Suddenly, a massive figure jumps from a tree, then starts running to the left, makes a hard right turn, and disappears back into the woods. This creature appears human-like and is quite massive. It strongly resembles the legendary Bigfoot, which is known to inhabit deep forests. Seeing this video, it's clear that this Bigfoot was far from its usual habitat. What might have brought the Bigfoot out there? Perhaps it was curious about the harvester machine, or interested in the person operating the machine. The video raises intriguing questions about the behavior of this elusive creature. Skinwalkers are creatures known for taking the disguise of different animals, and sometimes even humans. This video comes from Florida's Apache Sitgreaves Forest, and in it, we can see thermal footage of the forest. In the woods, there is a human moving with quite impressive speed. You might be thinking, what's wrong with a human moving in the forest? But the strange thing here is that this was recorded in the middle of the Apache Sitgreaves Forest. Encountering a human wandering alone in the middle of the forest seems highly unusual. While it's possible that this could be a regular person, humans can be unpredictable. The possibility of it being a skinwalker can't be ruled out entirely. This video was captured by marine biologists using cameras placed in the deep ocean to observe rare marine life. One of the cameras filming beneath the sea captured something extraordinarily long and massive in the distance. It's known that deep-sea aquatic life tends to avoid light, as they typically dwell in the darkness for most of their lives. So the marine biologists operating the cameras from their control station above decided to turn off the camera flashes As the flashes dimmed, a pair of eyes emerged from the darkness, gazing directly at the camera. Just by observing these eyes, one can imagine the immense size of this unknown sea creature. After witnessing this video, I'm content knowing that these creatures reside deep below the surface. The question remains, will they ever venture up to the surface? A series of video clips posted by a TikTok user suggests that their family might have been stalked by a cryptid creature. In these videos, two kids are seen playing in their backyard, close to the woods. Their mother is recording their playtime, but she begins to feel uneasy, sensing that someone or something is watching them. She directs her camera towards the woods and spots a strange figure lurking behind a tree. If that weren't eerie enough, the same figure is seen again the following day, now standing right behind their shed and still observing the kids. Upon closer examination, the figure appears to be faceless, resembling the unsettling Slenderman. It's hard to imagine the anxiety and fear that the parents must have felt, knowing that this cryptid creature was lurking nearby, potentially posing a threat to their children. This drone footage was captured by a person named Kristen in 2023 in Norway, and he claims to have recorded a sighting of an unidentified flying object. In the video, we can enjoy the beautiful cityscape view, but suddenly, an object with bright lights zips past the drone camera's frame. The speed at which this object accelerates is astonishing, and its lights seem to turn off simultaneously. Based on the arrangement of the lights, it appears to be in the shape of a dish. Some viewers might argue that this could be one of Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, but such satellites cannot move as swiftly or fly at such low altitudes. Similarly, it doesn't resemble a conventional plane, as planes require more distance to accelerate. So, if it wasn't a satellite or a plane, the question remains. This video was captured by a home security camera during the nighttime. In the footage, we get a view of the area outside the main door of the house. Suddenly, a smoky figure materializes from the left side of the frame, moves to the right, and then disappears into thin air. This was a rather peculiar sight, and towards the end of the video, we see it again, albeit fainter this time. It's challenging to definitively classify this as a spirit or a ghost, as it could also be interpreted as smoke from a nearby campfire due to its smoky appearance. However, the homeowner firmly denies this possibility, stating that it was night and there was no one in their neighborhood lighting a campfire at such an hour. According to the homeowner, this was indeed a sighting of a spirit. Encounters with unexplained creatures can indeed be quite unsettling, and this was the case for these individuals who came across a peculiar sea creature washed up on the beach. Right from the beginning, the creature appeared to have a face resembling that of a bulldog, but possessed a rather skinny humanoid body. Its hands featured large claws, and its feet were equally strange in appearance. What truly sent shivers down their spines were its teeth, sharp and predatory, suggesting that this creature might have been a hunter. The creature was also a pale white color, and its legs appeared to be separated from its body, even though they were found washed up alongside it. What truly left me pondering is the enigma of what kind of strange creature could have caused such an unusual fate to this unknown being. Humans use mirrors to view their reflections, and we understand that it's merely an image of ourselves. But have you ever wondered what animals think when they encounter their own reflection? In this trail camera video, a mirror is placed in the middle of a forest, and a black bear approaches it. Upon seeing its reflection, the bear attempts to attack it. The bear does its best to confront the reflection, although it ultimately can't harm it. It's fascinating to witness how animals can be so protective of themselves that they even try to attack their own reflection when it appears so lifelike. Observing this behavior makes one wonder how humans might have reacted to mirrors before mirrors were invented. For a hunter, encountering the legendary Bigfoot is perhaps the most feared and thrilling experience, and this hunter found himself in exactly that situation. He was 2 miles into the wilderness, sitting patiently in his elk blind when he heard some rustling in the bushes nearby. Initially, he assumed it might be another human hunter, but as he cautiously approached and zoomed in, he realized it was indeed a hunter, just not a human one. It was a Bigfoot. Upon this startling discovery, the hunter called it a day and hurried back to his camp to share this incredible Bigfoot sighting with others. The Bigfoot in the video seemed engrossed in its own activities and hadn't noticed the hiker's presence. Zooming in on the footage, you could clearly see its thick black fur coat and humanoid shape. This encounter was both fascinating and spine-tingling, and it's a story the hunter will likely carry with him for a lifetime. This video was captured by a motion sensor camera, which recorded some unexpected ghostly visitors on this campus. In the video, we can observe a car approaching, and its headlights illuminate 2 distinct figures standing just outside the gate. These figures appear to have a humanoid shape. As the car driver moves closer to the gate and spots these 2 figures in the darkness, he gestures for them to leave the area. However, to his surprise, the figures remain stationary, ignoring his signals. This unnerves the driver, leading him to retreat into his truck. He then activates the truck's headlights again, shining them on the figures. But this time, much to his amazement, the figures have mysteriously vanished. There's no one there anymore. The question lingers, was this a ghostly entity visitation, or perhaps something more enigmatic? Just like other creatures, Bigfoot is believed to come in various sizes and heights. However, this hiker claims to have encountered a giant among Bigfoots. In the video, we witness the edge of a forest, and a remarkably tall figure is seen running through it. This towering creature is covered in brownish fur and exhibits a distinctly human-like posture. Its long arms swing as it moves, and its massive body frame suggests incredible power and strength. One intriguing question arises. Why is this Bigfoot running? Is it possible that it noticed the hiker filming it and is trying to evade detection? Or could an even larger and mightier creature be pursuing this Bigfoot, forcing it to flee? Venturing deep into the forest, as a hiker without a proper group, can lead to some truly terrifying experiences, turning your hiking trip into a frightening ordeal. In this video, a woman and her partner find themselves in the woods, hearing eerie and spine-chilling sounds.
We're frozen here. Because that doesn't sound like coyotes. They got something.
Are they getting closer, Julie? No?
These unsettling noises bring their hike to an abrupt halt as they try to identify the source. The sounds are reminiscent of menacing growls, echoing ominously through the forest. They give the impression of coming from a group of creatures, intensifying the fear. The hiker recording the video also mentions that the sounds escalated in intensity when a cyclist passed by the same area. It appeared as though these creatures might have been dwelling in the trees, given how the sounds reverberated.
A biker just went that way, and the sound got worse.
What do you think these mysterious creatures could have been? Picnicking in jungle parks can be a refreshing and enjoyable experience, but when you come face to face with the forest's inhabitants, a picnic can turn into a nightmare. In this unfortunate incident, A family was having a picnic in the woods when an unexpected guest, a black bear, decided to join their party. In the video, you can see how terrified the child is upon encountering the bear. The mother instinctively covers her child's eyes to shield him from the sight of this massive bear. The bear, seemingly calm, helps itself to their food as if it were a regular occurrence, occasionally giving the child a curious sniff. After satisfying its appetite, the bear moves on to the next picnic table, but finding no food there, it hops down and departs. This encounter was undeniably unnerving, and credit goes to the people who remained calm. Reacting in a panic could have escalated the situation, potentially causing problems with the bear. This video, shared on Reddit, tells the story of an uploader who, along with his friend and longtime hunting partner, experienced something truly terrifying during a bow hunting trip in eastern part of Banff Park in Alberta, Canada. On their first night at camp, they heard unusual movements around their campsite, assuming it might be a bear. To investigate further, they decided to set up a trail camera pointed toward the camp before embarking on their day hunt the following morning. The trail camera remained in place throughout the night, and something triggered it. When they reviewed the captured images, they were startled to find several frames that revealed a pair of eyes in the top left corner of the video. These eyes appeared unusually tall, standing at a height of 8 to 9 feet, in contrast to their 4 to 5 feet tall tent. The eyes were just lurking there in the darkness. The mystery remains. Was it a lurking Bigfoot, or perhaps some other tall, unidentified creature? This video, captured in India, showcases a nightmarish scenario for those who enjoy nighttime walks. In the footage, the streets are crowded with various animals, including lionesses and dogs, all seemingly going about their business as if it were a typical day. The lionesses are seen in a group, attempting to hunt down a bull. However, the bull proves to be quite courageous and chases them away. The lionesses retreat upon seeing the bull charging towards them. This scene is undeniably unsettling, as it's not common to witness large predators like lions roaming freely on the streets at night. Despite the potentially dangerous situation, the people recording the video appear surprisingly unafraid and continue to document this extraordinary, albeit frightening, occurrence. Encounters with Bigfoot are usually associated with deep forests, making it quite rare to witness one strolling along roads and streets. However, this video captures an intriguing sighting of what appears to be a Bigfoot-like creature walking on a road. The figure stands tall, displaying humanoid characteristics but covered in fur, and it's taking notably long strides. The person who uploaded the video claims it to be a Sasquatch, and many viewers share this belief. Nonetheless, the video's quality isn't optimal, leaving room for skepticism. While it's possible that someone could be wearing a Sasquatch suit, it raises questions about why someone would do this at night with such a low-quality video outcome. Furthermore, an intriguing aspect of the video is that the Bigfoot creature looks back as if something is following it. These weird elements contribute to the mystery and debate surrounding the authenticity of the video. This TikTok video was posted by a user who claimed to have captured a sighting of a creature they believed to be a rake in their backyard. The video begins with the homeowner, who is also the uploader, filming the edge of a nearby forest where something seems to be lurking. Glowing eyes can be seen as this mysterious entity attempts to conceal itself. The homeowner tries to communicate with and confront this creature, but it remains eerily silent, merely staring back at the homeowner. Frustrated by its lack of response, the homeowner takes a more drastic step by firing a shotgun into the air.
All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. This is our home. You need to leave. You leave now.
which brings the video to an abrupt end. The homeowner has encountered this creature on multiple occasions, which is why they keep a shotgun on hand at night. It's a puzzling and unsettling encounter, and one can only speculate about the true nature of this mysterious creature in their backyard. The shotgun is, no doubt, a measure of precaution if this Rake ever decides to return. Trail cameras placed in forests, especially at night, can sometimes capture eerie and ghostly phenomena. This particular video was recorded by a trail camera, and it provides a glimpse of a wooded area during the night. Suddenly, a smoky and transparent figure materializes within the frame. This ethereal, humanoid-shaped figure takes a few steps before its form undergoes a strange transformation, causing it to hover just above the ground. Eventually, it exits the frame. Upon viewing this video, some individuals believe it might be nothing more than smoke from a nearby campfire. However, what makes this occurrence peculiar is the consistent and defined shape of the smoky figure. Additionally, there appears to be no wind, as indicated by the unmoving tree leaves, raising questions about how the smoke-like entity could move in such a manner. The video leaves us with an intriguing mystery. When you find yourself on a remote forest road and hear mysterious screams emanating from the woods, it's often advised not to venture alone to investigate, as it could potentially be a skinwalker luring you in. In this particular video recorded by a driver, we can hear eerie, womanly crying sounds coming from the forest. The cries sound as though someone is weeping nearby, creating a chilling atmosphere. The driver's instincts told them to help, but fear also held them back, particularly because they were alone in the middle of nowhere near a lake. While there are less unsettling explanations for such encounters, such as the possibility of mountain lions, which are known to produce human-like noises, these sounds seemed exceptionally human-like, making it highly improbable that a mountain lion was responsible. Imagine taking a late-night drive and passing by a school that has been abandoned for many years. Be prepared for something unsettling. In this video, a couple is driving past a haunted school, and as they go by, they capture a figure standing behind the main door. According to the couple, this figure has a humanoid shape and is in motion. It seems as though the figure is gazing directly at them, fully aware that they are recording it. While this is undeniably eerie, it raises some intriguing questions. Why is the main hallway still illuminated if the building has been abandoned for so long? Who is covering the electricity bill for this deserted, haunted school? Could it be that the ghost itself is responsible for illuminating that hallway with its supernatural abilities? If that's the case, having such a helpful ghost around would be a dream come true. Free electricity for everyone. A farmer had been noticing a broken panel in his garage and decided to install a camera to catch the intruder responsible. However, what he captured on video was far more terrifying. The footage shows a mysterious figure on the other side of the panel, attempting to break in. Its unsettling face is visible as it lurks, trying to gain entry. What's even more unsettling is that this figure appears to be completely naked and resembles a creature known as the Rake. But hold on. In the top left corner of the video, another Rake-like creature can be seen lurking inside the garage, seemingly scouting for the first Rake's success in creating an entry point. This is undeniably a frightening sight for the homeowner, and it might be high time to consider replacing those wooden panels with something more substantial. This couple was alarmed when they heard their dog barking at 2 a.m. Concerned about what might be causing their dog's distress, they went outside to investigate, capturing the incident on camera. In the video, you can see a wooded area in the distance. As they shined a light into the woods, they were startled by the sight of lurking and stalking eyes. The homeowners initially suspected that these eyes belonged to coyotes, possibly attracted by the dog food they had left out for the night. The dog, upon seeing these glowing and strangely moving eyes, grew increasingly anxious and continued to bark.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. What are they? They're blinking, y'all.
What are they doing?
There's lots out there.
Are those coyotes?
I don't know, but
Oh,
they're there.
yeah, those are coyotes.
While the presence of coyotes might not be a significant problem, if these eyes belonged to something else, it would be wise for them to reinforce their fence and consider keeping their dogs safely indoors. In this video, the homeowner called the police after receiving a notification that the house's door had been opened. The video is recorded from a police officer's body camera as they search the house for any potential intruders. The officer begins by clearing a room and then proceeds downstairs. Suddenly, the officer hears heavy footsteps running, causing him to quickly draw his gun and become alert.
Downstairs clear.
He is clearly startled by these footsteps. However, when he turns to look, there is no one there. The officer seems to think that it might have been his mind playing tricks on him, so he continues down and informs another officer that the area is clear. In fact, some viewers may question the officer's decision not to thoroughly investigate the source of the footsteps, especially since they were quite audible. After reviewing the body camera footage, another search of the house was conducted, but no intruders were found. Dogs have a remarkable ability to sense things that often escape human perception. So when your dog suddenly barks or appears agitated, it's essential not to dismiss their reactions. In this particular incident, a hiker was exploring a forest with his faithful canine companion when something unusual occurred. The hiker's dog came to an abrupt stop and began to bark fervently at an indistinct presence in the distance. Sensing that something was amiss, the hiker halted and decided to record the surrounding woods. To their astonishment, a towering figure materialized briefly, only to vanish behind the trees moments later. This enigmatic figure possessed an imposing stature, standing at an impressive 9 to 10 feet in height. Its appearance was humanoid, characterized by a pallid white complexion. While its body appeared slender, its sheer size was undeniably substantial. The hiker was inclined to believe that what they had witnessed might have been a kind of spirit or ghost. Notably, the figure moved without making a sound, adding to the mystique of the encounter. What are your thoughts on this intriguing incident? This video originates from the Melaleuca Australian forest, where an observant hiker had an encounter with a creature resembling Bigfoot as it traversed a lake. In the footage, we witness this Bigfoot-like entity making its way through the lake, which doesn't appear to be particularly deep. Upon closer examination, in the zoomed-in portions of the video, it becomes evident that this creature possesses humanoid characteristics and maintains a somewhat hunched posture. What sets this video apart and makes it peculiar is the creature's lack of fur on its body, giving it the appearance of wearing some sort of bodysuit. Skepticism arises due to the fact that the creature's height doesn't align with the typical stature associated with Bigfoot sightings. However, the hiker responsible for capturing this footage maintains the conviction that what they observed after the creature emerged from the water was indeed a massive Bigfoot-like being. This video remains shrouded in mystery, leaving room for speculation. More footage of the creature outside of the water could potentially shed light on its true nature. Natural phenomena that we can't explain can often evoke the greatest fear, primarily because they are beyond our control. A TikTok video shared by a user named HotheadBrett offers a glimpse of an eerie sky scene featuring a peculiar occurrence. In the video, we observe a red-hued, radiant mist mingling with the clouds. What adds to the uncanny atmosphere is a white luminescence within the cloud formation. Strangely, the lights on the ground, seemingly intended for an outdoor show, reflect off this particular section of the clouds. The reflection of these ground lights raises intriguing possibilities. One plausible explanation is the presence of an unidentified flying object, if indeed the source of the reflection may have a surface or composition that interacts with and reflects the illumination from the ground-based show lights. This TikTok video, shared by the user TheboneHead, captures a truly unsettling and eerie occurrence. In the video, we are presented with a view of the uploader's attic door at the eerie hour of 3 a.m. As the clock strikes 4 a.m., the attic door begins to exhibit inexplicable behavior. It appears as though someone or something from within the attic is making desperate attempts to break free, exerting considerable force. This hair-raising sequence evokes imagery reminiscent of scenes from a horror film, particularly the Evil Dead series. According to the homeowner, this eerie episode unfolds every night at precisely 3 a.m., leaving them perplexed and disturbed. Despite thorough inspections of every nook and cranny within the attic during daylight hours, no rational explanation has been found to account for this phenomenon. The question remains, could this be the work of a spectral resident dwelling within the attic? The mystery deepens. Trail cameras offer a captivating glimpse into the heart of dense forests without us having to venture there ourselves. This particular video, captured by a trail camera, presents a nighttime encounter with what appears to be a Bigfoot. In the footage, a formidable and dark figure materializes from the left side of the frame, traverses the wooded area, and exits to the right. This enigmatic figure boasts impressive height and a substantial, furry physique. Its posture distinctly resembles that of a humanoid, albeit with a slight hunch reminiscent of apes or gorillas. While it's plausible that this figure could be an ape or gorilla, its sheer size sets it apart, especially compared to the surrounding trees. Such colossal apes or gorillas are not known to exist in the wild. Regardless of its identity, this sighting certainly sends shivers down the spine, compelling us to contemplate the existence of such massive creatures lurking in the depths of the forest. For more captivating content like this, click here. Thank you for tuning in.